Hey there, mathematicians. It's Justin again. Welcome to Decimal Dash Bakery. There's been a big mix-up with an order here, and because of our success at the Meaville Bake Sale, we've been asked to help out. We've got 4 tasks ahead of us to get everything back on track, and we'll need to use everything we've learned about decimals: reading, representing, adding, subtracting, comparing, ordering, and converting them to help out. By the end of today's lesson, you'll be able to use your knowledge of decimals to solve several problems. Have your guide to notes ready? And let's save this bakery! For our first task, all the amounts on the recipe cards are in expanded form. The bakery needs our help to record them in decimal form. Here's the recipe card for chocolate chip cookies. It says we need 2 plus 3/10 plus 8/100 cups of flour. If we add 2 plus 3/10 plus 8/100, that's 2.38. So 2 and 38/100 cups of flour. Pause here to represent the rest of the ingredients in decimal form and word form in your guide to notes. Check your work with Mia's. Did you get the same answers? Remember, the vanilla extract is 1 plus 6/100. Since there aren't any tenths, we record a 0 in the tenths place to get 1 and 6/100. Great job! Now I've got to go help fill some customer orders. Okay, Mrs. Maple is buying a muffin for $1.38 and a croissant for $2.96. She's paying with a $5 bill. How much change should she get? Ooh, this problem has 2 steps. Which operation could we use to figure out her total amount? Addition. First, we need to find the total cost. We can use the addition algorithm to add $1.38 plus $2.96. Now, how can we find out Mrs. Maple's change? Yeah, we could subtract the total from $5 using the subtraction algorithm. Pause the video here to solve this problem in your guide to notes. Let's double check our work to make sure Mrs. Maple gets the correct amount of change. First, we added 1 and 38/100 plus 2 and 96/100. After stacking and regrouping, our total was 4 and 34/100. Next, we subtracted 4 and 34/100 from 5. But wait, something seems off. Can you spot the mistake? That's it, we forgot to add placeholder zeros. When we subtract with decimals, it's important to line up the decimal points. We could turn 5 into a decimal by adding a decimal point and a 0 in the tenths and hundredths places. We'll need to regroup 1 for 10/10, then 1/10 for 10/100. Now we subtract step by step. 10/100 minus 4/100 equals 6/100. 9/10 minus 3/10 equals 6/10, and 4 ones minus 4 ones equals 0. Mrs. Maple's change is 66/100 or 66 cents. Great job! 2 tasks down, 2 to go. All of these ingredient amounts are written as decimals, but the measuring tools are labeled with fractions in their simplest form. So we need to convert the decimals into fractions so we know which tools to use. Check out the cups of oil. To convert this decimal into a fraction, we first have to think about how to read it. The digit 3 is in the tenths place, so we read it as 3/10. That's a fraction with 3 as the numerator and 10 as the denominator. So 3/10 in decimal form is equal to the fraction 3/10. We'll use the 3/10 measuring cup for the oil. Pause here to convert the rest of the decimal ingredients into fractions in their simplest form. 0.09 is the same as 9 hundredths. What about 4 tenths? We can write it as a fraction, 4 over 10. But that's not one of the measuring tools in the kitchen. All the measuring tools in this kitchen show fractions in their simplest form. Can 4 tenths be simplified? Yes, both 4 and 10 can be divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 4 tenths, in simplest form, is 2 fifths. Great work! Now we're ready to help the manager with the final task. All right, bakers, before we close up the bakery, the manager has asked us to display the treats in the display case by price in ascending order. What does that mean again? Oh, right, from least to greatest. Check out these prices. To put them in ascending order, we stack and compare the digits. Wait, some of these prices are whole dollar amounts. What strategy have we learned that could help us keep the digits aligned? Exactly, we can add placeholder zeros to turn the whole numbers into decimals. Pause the video here to list these prices in ascending order in your guided notes. Do your answers match ours? If not, no worries. This is the perfect time to double check and fix any mistakes. First, we added placeholder zeros to line up all the decimals. That means we rewrote $1 and $2 as decimals by adding a decimal point, a 0 in the tenths place, and a 0 in the hundredths place. Remember, when all your numbers have the same number of digits, it's much easier to stack them and compare. That's the trick to ordering decimals and whole numbers together. To put them in ascending order, we start by checking the ones place. 50 hundredths and 78 hundredths are the smallest because they have a 0 in the ones place. Between those two, 50 hundredths is less than 78 hundredths, so it comes first. Next up is 1 and 0 hundredths, since it's the only decimal with a 1 in the ones place. Then we compare the 3 decimals with a 2 in the ones place. Since they all have the same whole number, we check the tenths place. 2 as a decimal has 0 tenths. 2 and 9 hundredths has 0 tenths, but 9 hundredths and 75 hundredths have a 7 in the tenths place, which is greater than 0 tenths. So the final order in dollar amounts is 50 cents, 78 cents, $1, $2, $2.09, and last is $2.75. Thanks so much, mathematicians. With your help, we completed all the tasks and saved Decimal Dash Bakery. So, what have we learned today, besides the fact that we're pretty good at running a bakery? Well, now you know how to read, write, and show decimals in different forms, add and subtract decimals to solve word problems, convert decimals and fractions, and compare and order decimals to solve real-world problems. Be sure to complete the practice questions and extension activities that go with this lesson to practice working with decimals. This is our Working with Decimals wrap-up lesson, which means the practice levels will review everything we've learned throughout the unit. There's an extension activity to help you reflect on your progress and decide if there are any lessons you'd like to revisit before the Unit 7 assessment. You can review any of the lessons at any time because in math, as in life, every effort adds to your success. I'll see you next time.